Hello, everyone. Welcome back to E20 Zone TV. Final video for me for a little while. To my right is Lucas. You know who he is. And we're here to discuss West Ham United's season 2024-25 player ratings. Lucas, how are you doing, mate?
I'm good, mate. Thankful the season's over. We all have a little break, and I know it's going to be short-lived because the window opens up in approximately 2 more days, 3 more days, whatever it is, June 1st. So, yeah, the stress will start all over again, but I'm going to try my best to not get so caught up into it. Maybe towards the end of the month, that's when I'll start stressing about targets and signings and whatnot. But I'm just hopeful
Yeah.
that we get some players in the correct positions. And even if I've never heard of them before, I'll try and keep an open mind, open head to it.
Yeah, I agree, mate. Uh, Before I get started, please do smash a like on the video, subscribe to E20 Zone TV, and share this video. More people that share it, the better. Share it on social media, and obviously it helps us go far on the channel. Right, let's get into this. Let's start off at the beginning. We're going to go through goalkeepers first, and then left back, right back, centre half, and then moving forward. Right, let's go with this man, Lucas Fabianski. Faults, Lucas.
Um, Really, the goalkeeper position was an odd one this season. And if I'm looking down, it's because I'm going to
Yeah,
be on my phone. I'm just looking at some basic stuff. So he's played 14 matches this season, 2 clean sheets, 0 for 3 on penalties saved. Again, really doesn't matter. But yeah, just a bit of a weird season in general for our goalkeepers because really we've all known for a while now that
yeah.
I think with Areola and Fabianski, you're truly picking hairs because they both offer something that the other does not.
But who's
Right?
more reliable, Fabianski or Areola?
I think I'd probably say Fabianski, but again, he like the things that people criticize Areola for, Fabianski also has some
Yeah,
criticisms. Like he can't distribute the ball. He cannot stop a shot at his near post.
yeah,
But again, he's a reliable shot stopper. He's a bit of a he's more of a leader in between the two sticks than Areola. But again, to me, it's picking hairs. But Fabianski, I would say, is a tad bit more reliable. But overall, again, I can't really remember a match this season where like he was either dreadful or unbelievable. I would say when he was called upon, he's done a solid job. So I'd probably give him a 6.
yeah, yeah. I think I'm with you on this one. I'll probably go high six. I'll tell you what, he's close to a seven, really. I don't remember him having really any bad games, but I might be wrong on that. But he's more reliable than Areola. So I'll give him a high six just to be kind. And then we'll move on. Let's move on to this man, Alphonse Areola. Fuck me, this geezer can't play with the ball to his feet, can he? Let's be honest.
No, he can't. And again, just another classic type of season really where like he is inconsistent to a point, but we all know that like in terms of just shot stopping, he is pretty good.
Yeah,
But playing the ball at his feet, he's not great. He doesn't really control his box that well in terms of corners or commanding his center halves or back line. So, and again, he's played 26 times this season, only 4 clean sheets. Again, is that all his fault that we only kept 4 clean sheets? Absolutely not. But there are like small things
there's
that,
errors in there.
yeah, there are. But again, as we all know, through Lopetegui, our
Mm.
defending on all levels was absolutely
I can't
atrocious.
I can't remember. I remember obviously Forest recently. But there was a game this year where I think it was Bournemouth where he should be saving at least one of them goals
Yeah,
that went in. Yeah. He's a great shot stopper, but this geezer can't have the ball to his feet, and that's a bit of a problem for
and
us.
again, he cannot. He just doesn't command his box that well. And I think everyone can all agree, it, not being able to command his own box is always weird because it always
Yeah.
feels like he's had French speaking players in front of him. But for some odd reason, like whenever he's yelling or shouting out, like she's just not listened to. And again, I'm not saying that's all his fault, but he's part of it. So Areola this season. And again, this rating might hurt him because he did play more. I'd probably give him a 5. I didn't think he wasn't absolutely dreadful, and he did have a few matches where he was stopping everything, but I can't put him higher than Fabianski just because when he was called upon, Fabianski is a bit more reliable. So
I'll go a high 5. I'm with you, but I think sometimes he has kept us in games. I remember a few games this year where he kept making save after save, but then he does have these howlers that seem to come out of the woodwork every once in a while.
Again,
so
if you split Fabianski and Areola this season, they played half the matches, the other played the other half. They probably, for me personally, they'd probably have near the same rating. But just because Areola was our number one and played more, and he's opened up to more opportunity for error. And as we all know, his faults, he just gets a 5 for me.
Yeah, I agree, mate. It's come to this man, Emerson. I feel for him a little bit. I really do. He's been in and out the side. He come back against Everton and played well, and then you don't see him again for a little while. I don't know whether he's had a row with Potter or there's been a disagreement or whatever. But what do you make of Emerson this year, mate?
31 matches, 2 goals, 1 assist. I know he had an absolute corker against Arsenal at home.
Yeah,
beautiful free kick. But a bit of a weird one. He was playing, and then he just kind of wasn't, and he made a few short appearances off the bench. But I really don't know. Emerson kind of splits opinion if you're on Twitter and other platforms or whatever. But I don't know. I like Emerson. I thought he had an all right season. Nothing special, but we all know what he's capable of. He is getting a bit older, and he did get phased out by Potter a bit, which I'm not going to – it is a little weird just because of the way we play, and he does seem to, like, fit that left wing-back mold. But, again, maybe he is just not Potter's type of man. But for me, I'd probably give Emerson – I mean, even under Lopetegui, I didn't think he was that bad, really. I'd probably give him a 6.
I'll give
special.
I'll give him a 6. Yeah, I think you're about right. I don't agree with him getting phased in and out, and he comes on. And I remember when he played against Brighton, played really well in the second half, gets subbed off, and then we go and lose the game. So, there's been games this year. Listen, defensively he's not good, but going forward he's a breath of fresh air. And he's the difference between him and Scholes. Scholes can defend but can't go forward. Emerson can go forward but ain't very good defensively.
And again, for me, like Emerson, the only thing that he's truly not very good at in terms of left back is crossing the ball. Really, everything else I think he's quite decent at or all right. But again, like I said, depending on what platform you choose to be on social media, he splits opinions. So for me, he gets a 6. I think he would have done decent under Potter, but again, people wanted some experimenting. Some people wanted to see some youth. They got it. And Scholes versus Emerson, I think you can see the clear differences between them and like just the jump in quality.
Yeah,
where Ollie Scholes needs to get to.
Yeah, 6 for me. What are you rating him?
6.
6. Let's move on to this man, Ollie Scholes. I don't know what to say about him, really, because he started to sort of show his face under Lopetegui. He come on against Bournemouth on the 16th of December. Then, obviously, Lopetegui got the sack. Then he started against Aston Villa in the FA Cup game, and he's been in and out the side ever since. What do you make of Scholes, mate?
15 matches, 7 starts. Let's be honest. The first thing we think about is Arsenal away. And he done absolutely superb.
He done the job there, yeah.
He was fantastic. And like we said before, that was probably our favorite win of the season. And that's really like what we're gonna remember. But when you think back in the season and his other 6 starts and his other appearances off the bench, he's just a player. He needs more time. I personally can see glimpses of his game where I know he can play in the Premier League. He definitely can, but he's just he's young. How old is he? He's
19. I think he's 19.
Yeah, he's 19, going on 20 in December. So he's got time, and he needs a bit more time. He needs a bit more playing time.
Right.
And again, the only thing that might halt his progression is playing as a left wing back. That's like one of the only true things I can say when I watch him play.
What's his best position then, Lucas, for you?
He's a left back. He's not a left wing back.
I
And if
agree.
he wants to be a left wing back, he's gonna have to learn how to carry the ball a bit better, like Emerson. But again, Scarles is already a better crosser of the ball than Emerson, and arguably on set pieces. I know Emerson scored that worldie, but in terms of just crossing the ball, corners, Ollie Scarles is probably already better than him at that. And he's going to become better at defending as the older he gets. But left wing, that's what I was going to say. The only thing that's going to halt his progression is maybe playing left wing back. I just don't see him being that type of player there. He's definitely a left back for me. So for me, Arsenal away, we'll always remember. And all the other matches, there might have been one match where I was like, all right, he looks a bit out of it. Like he looks a bit out of his depth.
There's two for me.
So for me, I don't think you can go harsh on the kid. And this rating does not reflect him at all. I'd probably give him a 5. Like he done what he could.
Right. Arsenal, I agree with you. Liverpool away got cooked by Salah, but it's going to happen. Right, it's Mo Salah. Bournemouth at home, 2-2. He gets hooked at half time because he was dreadful in that first half. I like Ollie, and I believe the kid's going to be a really good player for us. He's nowhere near ready though. He's nowhere near ready, and we need experience to go in on that left-hand side as a left wing back. Completely agree with you yet again that he's a left back, not a left wing back. He just doesn't attack enough for me, and he's not very good in the attack. Do you know what I'm saying? In defensively, 1-on-1, you want him to man mark someone, he'll do it all day and he'll do a good job on it. So I'm gonna give him a 6. I don't think he's been bad. He has impressed me how he come in. He started against Villa away in the FA Cup, done very, very well. He's played some good games in moments, and then he got ushered out of the side, and then he come back again. So I think for his first sort of half season at West Ham in the first team, I think 6 is about right.
It's hard to judge some of these players, but like I don't know. For me, the baseline 6 is average, and then 5 is just slightly below average. But he's 19, right? You don't expect him to walk on in and open everyone's eyes. Like I will never expect that from anyone under the age of 21 playing in the Prem. That's just me though.
Yeah, indeed so. Right, let's move on to this man, Aaron Cresswell. What a servant to this club. 11 years, long time, and he said his goodbyes. What do you make of him this season, Lucas? Because as a third centre half, he ain't been bad.
Yeah, he's played 18 matches, started 10. I think most of those under Potter for sure. But in that third center half role, I would say like years ago, I didn't like it, but now that he's lost his legs a bit, doesn't have the pace, and we were playing a bit more possession, passing the ball around, picking some passes out, picking some balls out. He was very good because he's composed, and also when Ollie Scarles started and he was right next to him, they looked very comfortable together. And again, that's just something you cannot replace. It's very hard. And like you said, Aaron Cresswell, great servant. We're gonna miss him tons, and the epitome of a West Ham player, in my opinion. But yeah, I didn't think he was bad at all this season. Again, nothing superb, nothing great. But again, kind of like Fabianski, when his number was called, I can't really complain if I'm being honest. So for me, I'd probably give him a 6. I mean, maybe a 6.5, but you know how we do. We were doing strongs or highs. I'm just gonna go with 6. He was good when called upon.
I'm going for a high 6. I think certain games he was excellent in. I remember one game this year. I think who was it against? There's one game under Potter where he was excellent. I remember watching him and thinking, fuck me, he's wrong about the years, this kid. Shame, really, but he hasn't got the pace. So I make this short and sweet. It's a strong 6. I thought he'd done all right. And especially when we've got centre halves who can't defend. Yeah. And he was defending. And also the game against Arsenal, I think that was the game. I thought him and Scarles were excellent in that game.
And
Really good.
one thing I would like to see going forward, if we are going to continue this three in the back or whatever, I would actually like to see Kilman move in to that Cresswell spot and do what he does, because I think Kilman can do that. But again, I really don't know what we're going to look like going further under Potter and all that. But that's for another video and further down the summer or when preseason starts. But yeah, 6 for me for Cresswell.
Six for you, mate. Let's move on to Vladimir Sufal. Obviously, he got ushered out by Aaron Wan-Bissaka. He come back in towards the back end of the season. He's leaving this season. What do you make of him, mate?
Yeah, like you said, ushered out. I don't know how many matches he started this season,
I think he
but
started about 5, 6
he
at best.
he played 22 matches. But
He
yeah,
played. He played 22. Did he? How many did he start in that?
I don't know. For some reason, when I'm going on this app, it's just talking
Yeah.
about Club World or UEFA the World Cup for some reason. But yeah, he played 22 matches. I think a lot of those were subs. But yeah, I mean, probably not his best season. And again, I don't know the reason for that. All I can really think about is his tenure at the club and how much I appreciate him as a player. Proper West Ham, in my opinion. He got a lot of criticism, but he also was loved by many. So, but yeah, really not a lot to really write about this season. Like Troj says in the chat, just struggles with pace, and that's what happens when you get older. But we all know he puts in a lovely cross when needed. And the other day when he did start, right off the rip, puts in a lovely ball for Souček, I think it was. Doesn't go in, but yeah, I'd probably give him like a high 5 for his efforts. Again, ushered out by Wan-Bissaka, who had a good season. And
Yeah.
when you're behind someone that is excelling and going upwards, it is hard to get back in. But I'm going to miss Sufal. I absolutely love him to bits. One of my favorite West Ham players of all time. And again, I think he can walk, just like Cresswell, he can walk away with his head held high. I'm going to miss him. I think a lot of people will miss him. And he is obviously going to miss the club as well.
Tricky one for me, this one, because he's played centre half. There was a game this season where he played him, Kilman and Cresswell as a back three. And he done all right in that. He's had a few good games recently, and I just hope it ain't a mistake by West Ham getting rid of him. But nevertheless, I'm going to give him a high 5 for me. High 5. I think he's been okay when he's come on. Pace wise, he's just not fast enough for the league, and the league's just too fast for him. So yeah, it's as simple as that. High 5 for me. Let's come to this man, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. What you saying?
Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Let's be honest. We all kind of knew when we got him for 15 million pounds. It was a bit of a coup. Not in terms of like ability, but like
Right.
he's pretty much a vetted in type of player, right? And he's Premier League quality, we all know. So for like 15 million pounds, just that alone already was a bit of a steal. And again, I'm not even going to sit here and try and like pick hairs about his season. He had a good season, but again, with any other players, right, at this club and our supporters, like some people blow smoke up others' asses, and some like just hammer down on criticism, right? But at the end of the day, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, whether you whatever way you slice it, he is probably in our top 3 best players this season. Our hammer of the year, not mine personally or who I voted for, but I don't hate it by any means. But he had a good season, 2 goals, 5 assists. We don't really see that with our right backs or fullbacks much in this team or this side, but he was good, and he was easily one of our best players this season. There are a few things that he could probably work on in the summer and all that, but I'd probably give him a it's tricky. I'm in between. Me personally, I'll probably give him a 7. And I don't think that's like a bad rating at all. I know I see some people in there saying 8. I don't totally disagree, but 7 for me, I think is good. Anything in between a 7 and an 8, I'm not gonna passionately debate you on.
Right. Under Lopetegui, he wasn't as good as what people made out. There was times where he was out of position and he was a bit lazy in games. I remember one game, I think it was Everton, where Somerville actually overtook
He
him and got back at home and saved the day for us. Do you know what I'm saying?
he caught a bit of the same flack as Emerson, in my opinion, under
Yeah.
Lopetegui, where like, oh, like people would say they're lazy and this and that, but like Lopetegui literally had both of our fullbacks bombing up the pitch, and it was like we had five forwards up at once, and then asking him to run back and forth full speed 100 yards every single like 2 minutes. That is a lot to ask for, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with a strong 7, just not an 8 for me. I thought second half of the season he was excellent. Yeah, scored the goal at Newcastle. Sometimes can be a bit lazy. Can be a bit lazy in getting back when we're being countered. He
And
doesn't march
And
like to
again,
get there.
he is just like a tad weird of a defender because he's not traditional at all, because his defensive positioning and awareness isn't the greatest, but in terms of just skill, he's very, very good. Like he's a great tackler of the ball. He intercepts the ball all the time, but it's just weird because his skill kind of makes up for his mental side of the game, if that makes sense. So if you were to put all of that together, like if he sharpened up mentally and positionally in his awareness and all that, he would be one of the best right backs in the Prem, in my opinion. So again, picking hairs a bit, but again, hindsight's beautiful. And if I was a more passionate, dedicated person, I'd be a billionaire. We could all say that or something, but no complaints from me.
You go a 7. I'll go a strong 7, close to an 8, but just not quite. I think the first half of the season people forget because of Lopetegui, and they don't really analyse him through Potter. That's fair enough, but I do remember at the start of the season. Right, let's come to centre halves now. It's going to be interesting. John Clare to Debo. God dear. Where do we want to begin with this man?
I don't know. This rating is a bit tough for me just because, like, again, I feel like I'm able to put like some of my personal preference aside because, like, I've said it for a while now. He's not my type of defender, but I see why a lot of people do like him. He's calm on the ball. He's composed, but he's a good passer. He can carry the ball as well. But like as a center half, that's not like what gets me excited. He like
Right.
To me, he could be a bit more tougher, he could have a bit more grit, a bit more of a spine. And again, some people like the way he plays. I personally just do not like those types of center halves, even in a back three.
Right. Let's break this down. For the money that we're going to pay for him, he's not worth 35 mil. It's just simply not worth 35 mil for what he does.
This season, he did not perform or play like a 35
He was,
player.
right, I'm going to be honest. Yeah, for 35 mil, I need me player to be on the pitch for 90 minutes, not 70, 60, 80, you know. I remember the first game really that he played, and he looked so unfit and fat. And I'm fat, but this geezer's fatter than me. Do you know what I'm saying? And he played against Bournemouth, and he was hooked after the first 45 minutes. Then he'll go and have a few good games to Debo, and I think, you know what, he's turning the corner. But then he'd just go off the cliff. He had rows with the ex-manager. Like, he's got a bit of a chip on his shoulder, this kid. I think he thinks he's better than what he actually is. Arsenal away, I will give him his due. He was excellent in that game. Arsenal away was probably the best performance from Talibo. Yeah, like he was class, playing the ball at the back, like defending. But then he just goes a bit missing, like Ipswich. It's
again,
you know what I'm saying?
In possession, he's probably exactly the type of center half you want. Even Kilman, those are like, I'm not going to call them a dream, but when you're dominating the ball, passing the ball around, those are two types of guys you want in the back because they have the quality to do that. But when the going gets tough, you need to park the bus, clear everything, head everything away. He's not the guy. And as I think we could all agree this season, what we miss so much is just a player that could clear the ball. We needed a Brexit defender. We needed a Brexit center half. Yeah, and we just didn't have that. And for me, again, I don't want to go too harsh because again, I didn't think he was absolutely dreadful, but he wasn't great in my opinion. So for me, I'd probably give him a 5. Just
You're being kind. You're being kind here. He's definitely not a 5, Lucas.
I
I,
don't know.
I will tell you this: what I'm giving him. Right, I am giving him a 4, and it's just a 4 at that. I think he hasn't been fit enough all season. Max Kilman gets a lot of stick, but at least Max Kilman's been fit all season. Yeah, like Tadibo hasn't been
I think
fit.
he played the most minutes for us this
He
season.
has, yeah, right. He can't header a ball, Tadibo. Like when the balls are coming in, he's poor in the air. For £35 million, I need to see a bit more than what I'm seeing. I'm seeing nothing from this kid, and I've got to take some stick on this one because I thought he was going to come in and change the game for us. Like the only thing he's changed is the fucking menu. Like
And
it's
and if you can't
shit.
play in a back three, Lord knows you
And that
cannot
is
play in a
true.
four.
That is true what you're saying there, yeah. In a back three, he's not all that. In a back two, he's worse. In the back two, he can't do it in the back two. So
And there are some rumors that we are looking to shop him after we buy him
I think I think
permanently. But
I think we have to. 4 for me. What are you rating him?
yeah, I mean, again, I'm not going to change my rating. What I say will go. So just a 5. But again, no qualms with your rating at all. And hopefully he takes his summer fitness more seriously than last summer, because to this day, that's still one of the most unprofessional things I've ever
Yeah,
heard as to why he wasn't training in the summer. But it is
yeah.
what it is.
Let's come to Max Kilman. A lot of people say that 40 million is a lot of money for this man. I do agree with them. We all knew this last summer. Like when we paid £40 million for him, we all knew that we was getting done by the English tax. I don't think he's been as bad as what people make out, and some people go
Yeah.
over the top. If I'm being honest,
And
what are you
again,
saying?
picking hairs at this point, right? But there is a difference between a 40 million pound player and a 30 million pound player. Like you said, we all knew that Kilman is not a bad player. He's just not 40 million pounds good. But
Agree.
we all knew that's who Lopetegui wanted, and he was going to get him by any means necessary. And in my opinion, 38 matches, 38 starts, played the most minutes for us. I mean, I could say that fee is somewhat serviceable, like to a point at least, because again, he was one of the most constant players in our team. Like we all knew he was starting. The only thing I do have with Kilman is that he's just not great in the air. He's not terrible, but he's not good. And if you're going to play in a back three, in my opinion, you can't have 2 or 3 center halves that are all exactly the same. And even in a back two, I don't want 2 defenders that are the same. They need to be able to complement each other. And I do think Kilman is a good base of a center half to have. Someone who can get stuck in, he can
Yeah,
play with the ball at his feet, he can drive up the pitch. You just need someone next to him, like a Brexit defender, to complement him and clear everything in sight in the air or on the ground. But and Max Kilman, to be fair, before Lopetegui got sacked, he was arguable Hammer of the Year as well. He had a run for a while. So for me, coming in, I'd personally probably give him a very strong 6, just not a
uh,
7.
I'm gonna defend him a little bit because he's played in a back three with Sufal and Cresswell in games because Tadibo hasn't been fit. Mavropanos has been next to him, who's been a liability. Then Mavropanos goes and gets sent off against Crystal Palace, I think it was, or Brentford, one of the two. So Max has always been there. Max is all right passing the ball out of the bag. I do agree with you that his headering ability is not that good. Um, he on the ball he's a bit soft. Like I see Richard
Yeah.
just like took the words out of my mouth. Right against Spurs, he gives the ball away. Against Crystal Palace, he gave the ball away again, and they run straight through the middle of us and scored. He's not a £40 million player, and we all know it. But the problem is, this is where the price tag is going to keep coming up from time and time again because we overpaid for this
And
geezer.
and again, with some of these players, right?
Yeah,
It's not their fault for what they go for. Like at the end of the day, that is all business and what the club decides. The players are not putting these price tags on themselves. So like some of the expectations are unrealistic. But again, it's one of those things. Is he a 40 million pound player? No. But if we bought him for 30 million pounds, probably good business. So again, 10 million pounds, you're splitting hairs a bit, especially when it's not our own money. But Like we just all
Well,
knew. I
well,
didn't
let's
think.
put it this way: if he wouldn't have been fit and he would have been out, would have been
Yeah,
knackered. So you've got to give like he's been fit for the whole season.
yeah,
So yeah, strong six for me. Also,
yeah.
let's go to that comment there. Kilman is, and he'll always be a 6 out of 10 player. He's okay, and that's it. Yeah, I sort of agree with you on that, mate. All right, let's come to this man, Mavropanos, Lucas.
Mm.
Faults.
I think under Lopetegui, not good. But he actually, in my opinion, had a bit of a strong end to the year. I think he was not as bad as what people think. But again, it's really on how you view people's trajectories, right? And like just their form through the season. Like I said, I think under Lopetegui he wasn't good at all. But I think towards the end of the season under Potter, when called upon, he wasn't all that bad. And he
Yeah.
ended up being arguably probably our best center half and a back three, even in like the worst possible matches when we were so shit. So I don't know. For me, Mavropanos, he'll probably get, again, just off the strength that the first half of the season under Lopetegui wasn't good, but the second half under Potter he wasn't all that bad. I'd probably give him a 5.
Yeah.
Just, and again, that's what a lot of our players this year were, just below average, and it's a reason why we are where we are in the table or how it finished. So a 5 for me. I don't know what his future is right now, really. I think we should be upgrading on him, but again, who knows if we're gonna get rid of him, or I don't
Um. Fucking hell. This is a tricky one for me because I do agree with you. He has got a little bit better, but that little bit of better is just still not great. Start of the season, it was awful, absolutely awful.
know.
The Chelsea game haunts me forever. Do you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? How bad they were at the back there. Obviously, he gets sent off in a game. I can't remember which one it was, but he got sent off, and he's the opposite of Kilman and Tadibo.
Crystal
He
Palace.
he can defend in the air, but he can't defend on the ground. That's the problem. So, I'll give him a 5 for me. 5 out of 10.
And
Making
and
sure.
real quick with Bryce, his comment here saying Mavra was best of the three of some recency bias. He was genuinely appalling for the first half of the season. No, I agree. I'm just saying, and that's exactly what I said. First half of the season, he was shit.
Too many times he would go and make a mistake at the end of a game and it would cost us. Fulham
Yeah,
away, mistake. Wolves, he nearly gives a penalty away at home, right? And he gets away with it through VAR. Like he's a liability,
yeah.
Mavropanos. He really
But
is.
again, like I said, the last few months, 2, 3, whatever, under Potter, there were matches where he was not the worst of our center halves. So I don't know. Strong 4, just a 5. Again, splitting hairs. I'm gonna give
Yeah.
him just a 5.
Right, let's come to this, man. Let's go to the midfielders. Thomas Soucek, what you saying?
Thomas Suchek again. Ole ole. What a man. 35 matches played this season, 9 goals, 1 assist, and an
Yeah.
absolutely dreadful side in possession and attacking and defending. This rating is a tough one for me because I don't necessarily think he had like the greatest season ever, but he always showed up when we needed him. And that's what this guy does. And that is something you cannot teach. Players either have it or they don't. We all
Yeah.
know this. Like you genuinely cannot teach. You can't. It's impossible. So this rating is like really tough for me because, like I said, Wan-Bissaka easily in our top 3 best players of the season, and Soucek is right there as well. This is some people's hammer of the year. And again, if people voted for him, I can't really dispute that because he just showed up all the time when it mattered. And again, I didn't think he was bad under Lopetegui. I didn't think he was bad under Potter. But again, kind of like with Tadibo, right? Some people love him. Some people do not like the type of footballer he is. But for me, Thomas Soucek is everything I want. You give me 11 Thomas Souceks, and I'll get behind you every day of the week. So for me, I would probably give Soucek. Some people will probably give him higher than Wan-Bissaka. I'll probably put him just the same. I'm going to give him a 7. I do kind of
Um,
want to go a strong 7, but again, splitting hairs, I
yeah.
think, a bit. So for me, I'm giving Suchek a 7, and I absolutely adore him and love him to bits.
Um, this is a tricky one yet again. This one, right? Because when Potter's playing him as a 10, he ain't going to create fuck all. He's a deep line midfielder. That's what he is. Like he's a box to box midfielder. There's been games this year where he's won us the game on his own, and he should have won us the game at Brighton with that great header, but it wasn't
And
to
the
be.
the stats don't say everything, but nine goals, 9 important goals as well. Those goals.
And we just can't replace them goals at the minute. So defensively good in both boxes. Yes, he doesn't get around the pitch as fast as everyone else wants him to,
We're technically gifted,
but you don't sell this geezer. It's as simple as that. If we sell him, we're mugs. We're mugging ourselves off. Yeah, you can have this geezer in and around the squad and build around him, and then let him go later down the line. You don't get rid of him now. Yeah, because you're replacing 9 goals and that sort of commitment to the shirt. So for that, I'm going to go high 6 for me, just not a 7. I feel like there's been chances where he's blown chances this year, and he should have got over 10 goals really. But nevertheless, he gets a high 6 for moi. Let's go to this man, and that is James Ward-Prowse, Lucas. Loaned
yes.
out for half a season, comes back. What you saying?
Yeah, so he made 24, 26 appearances this season, or no, he made 10 appearances for Forest this season, and then he made 14 for us when he came back, when Potter came in. 1 goal, 2 assists. Oof. Again, this is like another tough one because again, all the options we had just they don't really fit the way Potter plays. But in terms of like trying to find a solution to these issues, I think Ward
Yeah,
Prowse was our best solution to our current problem, like picking the ball from deep, starting transition. But again, as we all know, he's a bit of a safe player. He's a master set piece taker, and that's what you're gonna get. And obviously, when he came back, he didn't set the world alight in any way. He still hasn't scored a
yeah,
free kick
but
for us.
I've got to say this with James Ward-Prowse, and I see people in the chat there going shit, sell, all this game. He is very good at set pieces, so free kicks, corners. He's the guy.
Yeah.
We've never got no one to hit, never. Like we're playing Bowen and Kudus up front, which they ain't going to score you like bullet headers. And the amount of times I remember a game against Bournemouth this year when I think he put the corner in for Crew to nut it home, and basically that's what he's there to do. He needs a vocal point up front, and if he hasn't got that, it makes him look shit. Do you know what I
And
mean?
and again, I don't know. It's he right now, in my opinion, James Ward-Prowse is in the Mohamed Kudus situation for me, where both are good players in my opinion, but I really just don't know if they fit the way that Potter wants to play. Because, like I said, James Ward-Prowse, he's not a deep line 6. He's more of like a box to
He's a safe
box
man.
8. But like I said, we found a solution with him and picking the ball up from deep, carrying it forward a bit, and starting transition. Only because Alvarez couldn't do it, Suchek couldn't do it, Guido couldn't do it, but kind of showed it a bit towards the end, and Irving
Right.
wasn't playing, and Soler also could not do that. So again, like with Kudus, I don't know if Ward-Prowse is going to fit systematically with Potter ball, but I wouldn't be mad if we sold him. I wouldn't be mad if we kept him. I do think he is someone not valuable. I wouldn't mind keeping him, but I also wouldn't mind selling him. But this season,
He's a safe option, isn't he? Let's be honest. Like that's what he is. Like, he's on a lot of dough, but he can win you points. This kid, he really can. Shout out to Aaron. Big up Aaron. I will say
thank
that.
you, Aaron.
Go and follow Aaron. Yeah, listen, I make mine short and sweet. I'll give him a 5. I don't think he's been amazing, but I don't think the system has helped him in a lot of ways. When you're putting free kicks and corners in and you're aiming for Kudus and Bowen, who you
That is also something
ain't
that's
happening.
true as well. No matter what, his corners and free kicks are always going to be spot on. And this season, he had absolutely no one
to
besides
hit.
Suchek being able to get on the end of one. So for me,
Yeah.
again, it's a weird one. People will say 4, 5. I don't necessarily disagree really. I'd probably give him a 5, but I know he can do way better in a different system. But again, he is one of those players. If there is going to be a player that can adapt to a new system, I think it's James Ward-Prowse, because I do think intellectually he's a very smart player, and I think he could fit into new systems very quickly. So, and
Yeah.
again, he's a bit of a leader. Everyone loves him in the dressing room. You got to keep guys like that around in a transition like this. So again, if we sold him, I wouldn't cry. If we kept him, I wouldn't be outraged. I like James Ward-Prowse.
Fair enough, mate. Let's move on to Andy Irving. Yeah, I mean the meme.
Super Andy
Yeah.
Irvin.
All I remember is Chelsea away, right? I don't remember any other games where he's come
And that's
on.
all
And
we have. That's all
is
we
that
have.
all-
Chelsea away.
he's made one appearance.
Well, he's made 10 appearances. He has started
One.
once, and it was against Chelsea. And again, that's all he has. That's all I wanted. That's all we'll ever need. Super Andy Irving. Absolutely love him. And Dagenham and Redbridge. We have that as well.
We have to go at Dagenham and Redbridge, people. We have to go at the Daggers. Do you know what I mean? And I got it live. So there you go. Give us a number for him, mate, because it's pretty pointless, really.
Honestly, mate, for Chelsea away, I want to give him an 11 out of 10 for the season. But in fairness, I'd probably just give him a 5. I actually thought all the opportunities he got, he wasn't too bad. But again, Chelsea away, absolute legendary match, even though we lost. But that was one of the best away days I've ever been a part of. It was absolutely magical. So, yeah, just a 5. I don't necessarily think he's Premier League quality. And I don't know why we didn't sell him when we could have, according to the Athletic and other sources as well. But again, I guess we kept him because Lopetegui saw something in him. And again, another good guy to have around the dressing room. Everyone likes him. So
yeah,
I don't know. We should cash in on him though if it's there.
Yeah. I'll give him a 4. I think he's just been there, and he's been a meme. Do you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Right, let's move on to Guido Rodriguez and Lucas.
Oof.
You got to hold the L on this one, son. You got to hold the L.
And I do not mind it.
What you saying on him?
Guido Rodriguez, my very, very early prediction for Hammer of the Year. I bought into the hype. I probably more than that, to be honest. But yeah, it just really didn't end up working out. And again, the way that Lopetegui played honestly did not help the poor guy, because he already he never had pace. And as we all know, under Lopetegui, I think that was the biggest downfall as to why our defending was so bad, because our midfield was non-existent. And him and Souček both, or Guido just turned like a pillar. Like he just a cement block is how he turned. But again, another player, he never played under Potter until the last month. But when he played, he was all right. But again, I'd probably give him. And again, Guido, if he goes back to Spain, goes back to Betis, he's probably going to be really good, to be honest, like he was before. But again, I think the Prem is too fast, too athletic. But I think he's a smart intellectual player. But again, that never translates to athleticism or anything what you have currently. So for me, probably give him a 3, because he was dreadful under Lopetegui. Again, some of it his fault, some of it not, and then he just never played under Potter until the last month, which again he did. He played all right, but a 3 for me. He was not good.
I am gonna give him. Oh dear. I'll give him a high 2. I don't think he was all that good, and I think he's been sort of blown up a little bit to say he's had good games when he's been pretty bang average, if I'm being honest. I will remember Spurs in the first half where I thought he was excellent. He was excellent in that game. But then with that comes the Chelsea game where you've got the back 3, and then you've got Alvarez and Guido together. It was like fucking Dumb and Dumber. I think he's been absolutely shite. I think Lopetegui brought in someone who he knew as a mate, and he just hasn't worked out. So yeah, high 2 for me. Let's come to this man, Carlos Soler. I'll go first in this one. this kid likes to gel his hair up, but and he can pass the ball. We would always remember that pass he made against Arsenal at home
Yeah.
for the goal. Other than that, another one who's just all smoke but no
And
substance.
it's a shame because I think he's again another player in the dressing room everyone likes. I think he's a good character. Like, and I'm sure he is an absolute lovely lad, like a lovely, lovely gent, like someone I could have a pint with, several. But on the pitch, just
Yeah.
constant cardio sessions. And
Mm.
again, he always played hard, but like it just never like really translated to anything. He had a goal and an assist. He played 31 times. I'd probably give him just a 4. He wasn't good. He wasn't good, but again, I like Solaire's probably a lovely guy, lovely gent, but the Peloton instructor just could not do it for us.
Mm. I'll give him. Yeah, I'll give. I'll agree with you. I'll give him a 4. There's nothing really note. Do you know what I'm saying? People say, "Oh, he's not a bad player. He plays for PSG." Doesn't mean a thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's professional footballers out there who play for clubs, big clubs, and absolutely shite. So, you know, I've just never got on board with him. Never, not once. I did say that, and it did make me laugh. But just to sort of say this, I've never really got on board with Carl Soler. I thought he was just all hype and no
And I
substance.
think he's a fine player, but just again, as we all know in the Prem, you just got to have some a bit different, and you got to be a bit more well-rounded. Like if he goes back to France, maybe plays in Spain, Soler probably is going to be pretty good.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
different game over there.
completely agree. Let's move on to this man, Edson Alvarez.
Wow, wow, wow.
Uh, I'll let you go first in this one because, well, let's put it this way: he's been sent off twice. He can't hold a position. He can't hold a position on the pitch. He's a Champions League player, so to speak. Like he was a Champions League player at Dortmund. Um, or Dortmund were after him. Sorry, from Ajax. I can't believe how bad he's gone. I can't get that. I can't get that one out of my head. Uh, what do you want to say?
The downfall has been quite impressive, if I'm being honest. He's played 28 matches. He started 20. Again, most of those under Lopetegui, and again, he's one of the main reasons why our midfield was so dreadful. And again, I love his passion. I love how much he cares, I guess, but that doesn't give you an excuse really to be an absolute maniac sometimes or run around like a headless chicken. And for me, one of our worst players this season, in my opinion, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And for me, he goes in the same category as Guido Rodriguez, and I'm going to give him a 3.
If I'm giving Guido a 2, I've got to give him a 2. Got to. Like, I actually think he's worse than Guido. Them two sendings off, one at Liverpool and one at Nottingham Forest, were the most embarrassing sendings off I've ever likely to see in a football pitch. Especially the Nottingham Forest one where he comes across, he slides, and he knows he's never going to get there, and he's on a bookie and then he gets sent
Yeah.
off. Where
All of his reds, I think, were double yellows, right?
Yeah.
Which again, though, like the double yellows to me are no excuse. Like obviously a straight red is never good, but like the double yellows I think are a bit more idiotic because you already know you're on one.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
So I look at him and I think I still picture Chelsea when he's running back and he's nowhere near the ball. The sendings off are criminal, and he hasn't really been. He's been banned. No, tell you, I ain't been banned. He's been fucking shit. I'm being truthfully honest. So yeah, 2. Give him a 2 out of 10. Crap. No good.
And again, he is someone I think we need to actively try and sell. One, and for me, he's not a bad player. He really isn't. Like I think he
Right.
does possess good qualities, but again, he's fallen off a cliff, and I just don't think he's going to suit the way Potter wants to play. Like under Moyes, Alvarez, good player.
Yeah.
he needs a bit of a foundation, a bit of a system. And as we all know, under Lopetegui, there was no system whatsoever. It was fucking shit. And then under Potter, it might be a bit too organized for him, if that makes sense.
Well, is what it is. Right, let's move on to this man. And that is Lucas Paqueta. No assists all season.
4 goals, no assists, 33 matches played, started 27 of them. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Wasn't very good this season for a lot of reasons. Lots of stuff he's going through probably affected his mental to the highest degree. And again, I have no idea what's going to happen with him. I don't even know if we're going to be able to sell him. I don't know if we're going to be able to keep him. Who knows if this guy's going to be able to play again? I think he will, my opinion and prediction. But just not a good season for us. But again, I think kind of reasonable as to why not. But yeah, I'd probably give him a 4. He just wasn't very good. Again, as we all, for reasons we know why. It's probably why he wasn't good.
Villa away in the league game, he was good. He did have a little bit of a bounce when Potter come in.
That FA Cup match away at Villa as well.
Yeah, he looks all right. Then he's just sort of fallen down. Obviously, he cried on the pitch against Spurs, which isn't a good look, let's be honest. And, there's been a lot of stuff with him. I'm going to give him a 3. I expect more from this player. Yeah, last season, he was going to go for about 75, 80 mil to Man City. This season, he could not be playing football again.
But
do you know what I mean?
If he does get found not guilty, we will don't get it twisted. West Ham will be handsomely compensated by the FA because we are going to sue the everlasting shit out of them.
Yeah, it's true.
And also Paqueta is going to get a nice hefty bag as well from them for the emotional and mental torture he's going through.
Yeah. It's I'll give him a 3 out of 10. Let's come to this guy, Crescencio Somerville. What did you make of him up to his injury against Villa in the FA Cup?
Under Lopetegui, so 1 goal, 1 assist. I can't remember who he scored against at home, but it was at the back post.
Manchester United.
It was a bit of a shit. It was a shit goal, but lots of effort, lots of passion to get there. But 19 matches, started 7 of them, 1 goal, 1 assist. Never really played under Potter, so I can only really judge him under Lopetegui. Showed some signs. Also was very, very average at times. I think a fair rating for him would be a 6 because we don't know how he's going to play under Potter. For all we know, he's going to be our new right wing back. I do not know. I wouldn't say I'm excited to see where he falls in the system because it does scare me a bit where he might be playing under Potter. But yeah, didn't see a lot of them, and even when we did, it's not under our current manager. So like what he done under Lopetegui, I really don't care about because we have Potter now. So I'll just give him a 6. There's potential there. There is a player, but we'll just have to wait till the summer to see if he fits the way Graham wants to play.
High 5 for me. I think he gets harshly treated because people look at him that he's light. He didn't really get a look in under Lopetegui. He was coming on in games. I remember a game where he played pretty well, and the following game he gets dropped again by Lopetegui, and it just didn't make a lot of sense. I thought he was good against Villa in the FA Cup. I thought the goal against Manchester United was decent goal at the back post. I remember a game against Everton where I was saying about Aaron Wan-Bissaka earlier on. Aaron's not running back, and Somerville runs round him, round everyone else, and gets there and does a tackle which deserves to win Night Tackle of the Year. So, it hasn't been a great season for him. I understand the surgery side of things, but that's his decision. But I'll give him a 6. I don't think he was too bad. I thought when he comes on,
high 5 or 6 because you did say high 5 at first.
Oh yeah, I'm going to go with a 6. Yeah, like I don't think he's that bad. Yeah, I think people keep comparing him to Ben Rama. He's nothing like fucking Ben Rama. Right, this geezer has the ability to go on and be a very, very good player. He just hasn't been his season. Yeah, he's been in and out. But one thing I like about Cry is he will run forward and he will run with intent. And that's what we need. We need people. We need ball carriers at this club. We've got too many people that keep going sideways and back every 5 minutes. So, yeah, I'm going to give him a 6. I think he deserves it. And he hasn't been his season, really. Right, let's move on to this guy, and that is Luis Guilherme. Lucas.
Yeah, for me, played 12 matches. He started once, Wolves away, I think it was.
45 minutes from hell that was.
I think the kid does have potential. And again, now under Potter, who knows where that is going to be, because under Lopetegui, he did kind of fit the way we wanted to play, but now we're a bit more systematic, a bit more in a I don't know. I really don't know with Guilherme. I think he can be good. I think he can go for a lot of money. And I hope he's just not a wasted talent that we flog off because we can't get anything out of him. But yeah, I don't know. He had some good appearances off the bench, like Chelsea away. He came on, he done pretty well, but he also did some things in critical moments that, like, what are you doing? But again, he's young kid, lots of talent. Again, I just don't know where we're going to see him. I don't know how he fits into Potter's plans. So for me, I'd probably give him a 5. I didn't think he was terrible this season when he came on, but again, he's very raw in my opinion. But there is one thing the kid can do. He's Brazilian. He can link up play, he can play 1-2,
carry
the ball a bit, but again, in the Prem, you got to have a bit more about you. And I think he does need a loan, if I'm being honest. To where, I do not know. But I think he needs a loan.
I'm going to give him a high 5. Yeah, and I'll tell you the reason why. I thought Chelsea away when he come on, he looked lively. I thought the other day against Nottingham Forest, he comes on, he looks lively. Against Wolves, it didn't make a lot of sense, but I blame Potter on that. I don't really blame him. Like, he hasn't played for ages, and then all of a sudden Potter just goes and plays him. Yeah, against Wolves for 45 minutes. The only thing he done is change his boots, right? He hasn't been given enough opportunities for me by both managers. Yeah, not just Lopetegui. Would I keep him next year? I don't know. The jury's still out for me on this one. It really is. I don't think he should have been here in the first place, but he seems like a good kid, and he has got ability. But can we hang about for this ability?
And I think
that's the real question.
I think he does want to be here as well. And I truly do think he can come good and become a good player, but I really do think he needs a loan to the correct club, like we've been doing with Potts and Earthy. If we can find a place for him where he'll truly develop and get all the minutes in a good league for a half decent club that's fighting for something of sort, like he could come good. And again, I just don't know where that would be best.
He could do, but I don't think it will be under a Potter system. I just don't see it, so I agree with you on that. Right, let's move on to this one. Mohamed Kudus, Lucas.
Oh, yeah. 5 goals, 3 assists, so 8 goal contributions. Played 32 times, started 31 times under Lopetegui and Potter. I love Kudus. I think he is a world-class talent. I think he has all the world at his feet. I think he's a fantastic player, but
but is it all on him?
It's not all on him. It's like it I think it's half and half. Like he is a player that deserves to be playing, in my opinion, but he's got Jared Bowen in front of him. And we all know how good Jared Bowen is, right? I don't like Kudus in the 10. I don't like him on the left. He's best on the right where Bowen plays, but we shouldn't be sacrificing Bowen for Kudus, even though Kudus could be so good. I already thought getting him in the first place was going to be a bit of a tough one because, again, you can't have 2 really good right wingers who can only really play there, right? So, again, that's just my quick thoughts on that. But on the season, disappointing. Again, I just have I know the type of player Kudus is, and I think everyone else does too. And this year was disappointing. I'd probably give him. And again, he's another player kind of divides opinion a bit. I'd probably give him a 4, but if someone gave him a 3, I wouldn't debate you really on that, but I'd probably give him a 4.
I think many people are very harsh on this geezer. Yeah. When Lopetegui come in, he kept playing on the left. Right? That's a crime in itself. He's not a
Oh, and
left-sided player.
he can't play striker as well either.
Yeah,
So
right. And he kept playing him on the left, and it just wasn't working. Right. He's really a right-sided player or a 10. Right. Has he really been given the opportunity in the 10? Not for me. Not for me. He hasn't really been
but when
given
he
many
has
chances.
though, he hasn't done the job.
I don't know, mate. I don't know. I think it's a confidence thing with him. I think when you've got to deal with Julian Lopetegui and Mo's probably getting dug out. Obviously Brentford away this season. They had a punch up in the change rooms. Do you know what I mean? That was back in what? My memory served me right. That's September, beginning of October time. Yeah. So it hasn't worked out well. Listen, Mo is a bit of a strange one, really, because he's one minute he looks like he's on it, and the next minute he's not. Right. And like the balance is not right with him on that. But I don't think this is all on him. I think the fucking managers have fucked him about a little bit. I don't understand why Potter keeps playing him in a 2-man strike force. I really
But then
don't.
again, just the signing in general, like I don't know. I just think the squad building decision on that was not very good. But
If we get 80 mil for this geezer, we are robbing people. Yeah, that's the first thing. We are robbing people. But you know what? If he's here next season, I reckon people will eat a lot of humble pie, mate. If I'm being truthfully honest.
I'm not like I will not be mad if we don't sell Kudus because again, he's a great player. I just always struggle. I'm just struggling to see where he fits under Potter. I really do. And again, if you ask me, would I
Yeah,
rather get 80 million pound and bring in 2-3 players that fit the way we want to play, or keep a world class talent who's going to consistently be played at a position and you're not going to get the best out of them? I know which one I'm going with, even though I love him to bits. I really do. So, yeah.
yeah. I'm giving him a 5. I don't think he's a 4. I think there's been games this year where he's won us points, i.e. at Arsenal. Bowen scored the goal, but he
Yeah.
managed to get Lewis Skelly sent off, which helps us go on to win the game. Um, Obviously he scored a goal against Brighton to get us on our way to a defeat there. Ipswich scored the third goal. Like, I just don't think he's as bad as what he'll make out. I think people are just looking at that scapegoat and he's the guy. And I'm going to back him on this one. If he's here next year, right, he might change the game for West Ham. Do you know what I'm saying? Because he's not a bad player. Yeah. And when you've had to deal with Julian Lopetegui, like for half a season, then you're going in a Potter side where, let's be honest, the midfield's fucking awful.
Yeah.
He's he is gonna he's only gonna get better. He ain't gonna get no fucking worse. So 80 mil, it is what it is. Right, let's move on to this man, and that is Jared Bowen, captain, leader, getting married at the weekend, currently in Vegas. What you saying, mate?
Handsome, well groomed, great taste in women. What a man, Jared Bowen. My hammer of the year, personally. I'm not gonna lie to you. How this guy got 21 goals and assists combined, 13 goals, 8 assists in this absolute shit side. He deserves an award from the Premier League solely on just his trials and tribulations this season. But yeah, I don't need to speak much on Jared Bowen. He is him. He is that guy. No matter what, he will always show up when it matters. And Graham Potter, I think, quickly has learned you never sub this guy off. I'll never forget when he first subbed him off the first time, 71st, 74th minute it was. I was appalled. And
What game was that? Can you remember?
mate,
I remember there was one game where he subbed him off against Manchester United. Lopetegui subbed off him at the first game against Aston Villa when I went mad.
he
You know what I'm
subbed
saying?
mate, he subbed him off against Arsenal when we won 1-0, 82nd minute. And then he subbed him off against United 73rd minute, but that's really besides the point, I guess. But Jared Bowen, mate, genuinely, I think I'm going to give him a 9 because the fact that he scored 13 times, 8 assists as well, in this absolutely god awful season, I think just shows how good of a player he is, truly. Yeah. And like you said, I think we need to build the team around him. He's got to be the main priority. Like, however we can get him in better positions, score more goals, put more crosses in, all that, it needs to be a priority. And Potter cannot keep playing him as a striker in a 3-5-2, or he's going to want out.
Sam's just sent us 79 pence, and he's come back with E20 is a melt. I am, mate, but I'm £2.60 odd richer now than I was before. But carry on giving them super chats in, Samuel. Do you know what I mean? I will take it all day and twice on a Sunday with your mother. For me, I'm giving him a 9. I think without this geezer, we get relegated. Simple as that. He's captain. People keep questioning his captain ability, but he leads by example. That's the thing with the kid. He leads by example. There's been games this year where he's sort of won the game on his own, like especially recently. And you know what? We need to build around him. So I'm giving him a 9 out of 10. I feel sorry for him to a point because he could go to any club in the Premier League and he could shine big. But he's like a prisoner at West Ham. And the thing is, I just hope one day he don't think I don't want to be here.
And I see some people in the comments, and I kind of understand where they're coming from. My rating isn't necessarily solely on. For me, it's like his performance for West Ham, if that makes sense. Like, obviously, if you're comparing him to like some other players from the Prem this season, he's definitely not a 9. But like I said, I gave him a 9 solely, like Fever said, I gave him a 9 because I really do not know how he got 21 goal contributions in such a shit side this season. And like you said, without him, we're relegated 1,000%.
Yeah, so I agree. 9 out of 10 for me. Let's move on to Nicholas Fulkrug. Tricky one, this one, because we signed him. Didn't really get a look in under Lopetegui at the start. It was more Antonio, right, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Then he got injured against Villa. Then he come back and then he scored a few goals, made a comment about the mentality. And then that's
then
it.
Played like shit after.
Yeah. What are you saying?
18 matches, started 6 of them, 3 goals, 2 assists.
Yeah.
Again, he's a Champions League player. We brought him in knowing that, and he does have quality, but it's just a bit of a shame that he made those comments, and then afterwards, he didn't really back any of it up for himself. Like, what was he wrong in his comments? No, but I'd rather have someone say that and then kind of back up those comments. You know what I mean? Which he did not. So, 3 goals, 2 assists. I'd probably give him. I'm in between a strong 4 and a 5. I think, again, you can't really help getting injured, right? Nobody wants to get injured. It just happens. But we all knew his injury record coming in here. So I'll give him a 5. I think a 5 is fair, but again, I just don't really appreciate comments like that a player makes, especially one that's been injured all season, and then after he makes those comments, comes back and really doesn't do shit. So I like him though. I think he can be good here. Again, I wonder if he fits into the way we want to play. So onwards and upwards. I do hope that Fulkrug becomes a success.
Yeah. What am I going to give him? I'll give him a 6. I think he's been a bit underused, mismanaged, and so many times this year we played 2 up top, and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, why are we not playing this geezer? Like, why are we not playing him? But it is what it is. But you know, yeah, I'll give him a 6 out of 10. And Sam Banks says, I gotta get Sam Banks' comment up here. Let's get this up here. Sam Banks, biggest puff. So I think he's saying puff. Moyes ain't gonna shag you, but your mum will, bruv. And I will penetrate her arsehole big time. So shut the fuck up. Do you know what I mean? And come at me anymore. Do you know what I mean? Say less to me. And tell your mum I said hello also. Right, that's that prick gone. Let's get to this one. Nick, Evan Ferguson, what you saying?
Short, sweet, one. Didn't do a thing, and which upset me a bit because I did really want to get him in on loan. I didn't want us to buy him, but I thought it was very an appealing deal for us, and we did need to get him in. We needed a striker. We needed one, but I'll give him a one. Or actually, no, I'll give him a 2 for being able to put both socks on and both boots in his kit. So I'll give him a 2. He was terrible.
Yeah. Troj, don't ban that Sam Banks because he's. I'm just going to let him enjoy himself because he can see this face when his mum sits on it. It is what it is. I'm giving him a 0. Pointless fucking transfer loan. Make of it what you make of it. Absolute waste of fucking time. I don't agree that Potter has used him wisely. I'm going to be honest. Like, there's been games this year where Potter should have played him and didn't play him. There was times where, you know, like Everton away pisses me off big time. We score a goal, he's about to come on, he doesn't use him. But when he has come on, he's been shit. He's been shit. So, you know, I'll give him a 0. What's the point? What was the point in signing him? And we're not going to use him. So there you go. Right, let's come to this man, Danny Ings. What you saying?
We'll always have Fulham away, Danny. Thank you. Lovely chap. I got a picture with him in Tampa. Nice little 15, 20-second chat. He is a great lad. Great for the dressing room as well, but he's just his time is up. His time's been up for a while at West Ham, to be honest. But 1 goal, 2 assists. He's played in 15 matches. He started 1. And yeah, we'll always have Fulham away. So Danny Ings gets a for Fulham away, I'll give him a 4. But really he probably gets a 3.
It's been a few games where he's come on and he's looked all right. He's looked okay, but he's just 125 grand a week for a player that's criminal, mate.
And again, just like Ferguson, at the time, we really did need Ings. We needed a striker, but for 125 bags a week, that bad, I do not know.
Rick, Ricky says Danny Ings or Sam Banks. I actually have Sam Banks, mate, because at least he have a go. Do you know what I mean? I love the enthusiasm of the kid. Yeah, I'll give him a fucking 2, mate, for turning up, smiling, scoring that goal, and
he does
doing
have a
that.
great smile and new set of hair. We love you, Danny.
Fucking love you,
Dingsy.
Lovely, yeah, mate. I ain't gonna lie. Right, let's come to this guy, Mikel Antonio. Played all the way up till December, and then he has a car accident which nearly kills him. What you saying?
Yeah. 1 goal, 1 assist, 14 matches. Started 11 of them under Lopetegui. Did what he could. I'll be honest, I can't really remember much of him from this season because of the tragic situation that happened to him and the PTSD that Lopetegui gave me and how much I hated watching that football. And I'll be honest, I just can't really remember much from Antonio. I'll probably give him a 4, maybe a 5. Probably give him a 4. It wasn't great from him, but again, not really all his fault, in my opinion. But he is getting up there in age. That injury is tragic, but apparently he's progressing well, and we're trying to get him back. But
yeah,
that it proves to be a tricky situation currently. So I do not know, but I'll give him a 4. But I love Mickey to bits. He's one of my favorite players ever. Love you, son.
I don't know what to rate him, if you want me to be honest. Because he wasn't great leading up to the car accident. Leading up, he just wasn't great. And the car accident sort of reflected, and I see someone in the chat there say the car accident called by himself. So what? It nearly killed him. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think people need to look at life a bit different. Do you know what I'm saying? I'll give Mickey I don't know what to rate him, Lucas. This is a tricky one for me. It really is. I'm a bit on the fence with this one. I'm going to give him a 3. I don't think he was any good when he was coming on and playing, especially under Lopetegui. But let's have it right. 9 times out of 10 was getting battered in games, and Mickey was just none and void. So yeah, let's get to Darren's comment because he's calling me out. James, how old does one need to be before there's no longer a kid? I don't know, mate. Do you know what I mean? But whatever. Right, let's go to this man. and that is end of the players. Coming up to the managers now. Julian Lopetegui, Lucas.
Thank fuck he is gone. Thank fuck I no longer have to witness the double team tag team of him and Gilherme or whatever Ballbag's name was.
Yeah.
He was dreadful. One of the worst managers I've ever seen at this club, if I'm being completely honest. Pellegrini 2.0, but worse. No resume, no pedigree about him at all. Like, at least Pellegrini had a bit of a resume and a bit of something about him. But Lopetegui, absolutely dreadful. Turned the dressing room against him and others. His tactics were shit. His signings were shit. He
I don't
was
know.
dreadful.
I don't know. I think you're being a bit too harsh. Because I think some of these players let him down to a point.
His tactics absolutely dreadful. He's just a shit manager, and I never wanted him. Some people wanted him. We'll not name any of those people, but yeah, he was dreadful. Again, I did not enjoy anything about him. Like, maybe Newcastle when we beat him 2-0. That's about it. So I guess thanks for that. Lopetegui, you were shit. I'm going to give him a 1. Actually, no. Sorry. I'm giving him a 0. He was dreadful. Did not enjoy anything about him. I hated him.
I'm going to give him a 1. Newcastle away was a good victory. Other than that, I think the rest of it was shit. I think he was misunderstood. I don't know how he got the job in the first place. Oh, I do know how he got the job in the first place, because fucking Sullivan employed him, and Sullivan went down that route of going cheap yet again, like he always does. The setup was wrong. Players out of position was wrong. Yeah, let's say the better 1 out of 10. Right, let's come to Graham Potter. What are you saying about Graham Potter, mate?
Came in an awful, awful time. Dressing room was in bits. Players wanted to fight each other. They wanted to fight the manager. No one was having a great time. So he kind of inherited a broken family, a broken squad, and then basically had to try and put in a system that none of these players suited at all. So it's a tough one for me. But at the same time, I look at the points, I look at the matches.
Yeah,
we really didn't improve all that much from Lopetegui. I think in terms of the way we went about matches, I think we did a bit better. Again, but that's down to what people think football is and their philosophies, right? In my opinion, Graham Potter gave us a chance to pick up points. As with Lopetegui, it was just, you did not know. We could have lost 5-0, or we could have shithoused 2-1, 3-1, something like that. But with Graham Potter, I think we always had a bit of a better chance to have some sort of secureness. But again, he's dealing with players that really aren't his. He tried to implement a system that none of these players suit. But he also was really not that great himself. And again, I give him just a bit of room for that. And the summer is going to be very, very important. But the second half of the season, I'd probably give him I'm in between a 4 and a 5. I really don't care that much about splitting hairs. I'll probably give him a 4 because again, the football is dull at times. It's not my type of football. But again, there are people out there that wanted this type of shit. They love possession. They love doing fuck all with it. I don't like watching that personally. But again, in my opinion, he did give us a better chance of getting points, picking up points than Lopetegui, in my opinion. But the way he plays football, I can see the negatives. I can see the positives. But again, I think he needs to bring in players of his own that fit the way he wants to play, and we need to get players out that do not fit the way he wants to play. So he started 14th. We ended 14th. Can I really give him a 6? No. Can I give him a 5? Maybe, if I feel really, really sorry for him and have sympathy. But I think a 4 is fair. 4 or 5, but I'm going to go with a 4.
I'm going to be honest. Anyone who's giving him a 6 needs to seriously lay off the fucking smack. He's not a 6 out of 10. He's got 5 wins, like in 18 games. Like, let's have it right here. Yeah. Right. Potter comes into a situation, right? If you're gonna start bringing up Lopetegui, then we're gonna have to start bringing up Graham Potter's signing of Evan Ferguson. The fact that he doesn't use Krug or Ferguson, he goes with Kudus and Bowen from the second part of the season. It's criminal. It's a criminal offence. Like, I didn't like the way he treated Krug after the Southampton game, leading on to the Brighton game, when Krug comes out and says exactly what the fans have been saying. But people will say Krug's a hero for that, but then not criticise Potter. Yeah. For me, Potter has been a stabling sort of manager, but he hasn't like blown me up and gone, wow, this is the next gen.
And again, like Troj said, I think he makes a very good point with what I think this was the one. Like Lopetegui won more games than Potter, but to me, the big thing that separates them is that Lopetegui at least had a window and brought in some players he wanted.
Yeah, but I
think we will improve.
Yeah,
when Potter gets in some of his players, but again, that's yet to be seen.
Yeah. See, the thing is, right? I see what Richard's saying there. 5 wins, not good enough. It's just not good enough. Like, I'm not going to sit here and go, yeah, like he's amazing, he's this and that, after like having 5 wins, because I look at the defeats and I look at the poor performance against Southampton, like the self-destruction against Brighton. Do you know what I'm saying? The Everton, where we go 1-0 up and he goes ultra defensive and Moyes is chucking striker and striker and striker on, and we end up like drawing the game. Like, there's too many games where we've lost points this year. And for me, with Potter, I need to see something with his players. Yeah. Because all these people that keep saying he needs his own players, that's all well and good. But now the mirror's going to be shining back at you.
Yeah. And we'll see. We're definitely gonna see it. And I do think it will be better. But again, I agree with you to a point where like he should be making some of these players better, but at the end of the day, there are players that just, no matter how good they are, they will never fit a philosophy or system of playing football. And under Graham Potter, the way he wants to play, possession based, lots of sideways, lots of backwards, defending with the ball and creating quality chances that may go in and they may not. Shout out to the XG merchants.
Yep.
That's just how we're going to play. And like Kudus is an amazing player in my opinion, but he does not fit anywhere near that philosophy. And again, that's almost not neither Kudus' fault or Potter's fault. It's just sometimes things do not work because they're not made to work.
Listen, I'm a big enough man to admit if he gets it right next year, I'll come on here, I'll knock a video up and I'll say I was wrong. Yeah, he's got a big summer. And I think people keep saying about the transfer window and saying, right, he needs his players. No, he's going to get his players. But if he continues to play the same shit that he's been playing, this sideways and back stuff and trying to pass us to death, then it ain't gonna go very, very well, in my opinion. So yeah, for that, I'm gonna give him a 5. I'll give him a 5. I think it's just been bang average.
The fact that I gave him a lower rating than you did is hilarious.
Yeah, but the problem is just that I do not understand where people look at him and sort of can't criticize this geezer. I just like, and that one baffles me like beyond belief. Like, how can you not criticize him when there's been so many games this year where someone just said it in the chat there, where we're on the verge of winning the game and we've either lost the game or drew the game. Like, you could go through it, Lucas. Like, 18 games there, and listen, I can accept losing against your Cities and your Liverpools and Newcastle to a point, but to lose against Brentford, Crystal Palace, and like all these teams, it was just there's nothing about us. There's just nothing about us. So yeah, he gets a 5 for me, and that is that. Lucas, any final words from you, son?
No, I just want to say hi, Holly. Hope you're well. Hope everything is amazing. But yeah, really, I'm hoping the summer goes well. I'm very, very thankful this shit nightmare season from hell is over. And I'm just really happy that we can start putting, hopefully putting some excuses to bed, some valid, some maybe not. But yeah, I'm I'm not going to say I'm excited for the summer because of how bad the season was, but I'm going to maintain hopefulness, be a bit optimistic that we bring in some players that fit the way Potter wants to play, even if they are from the Iranian Super League or the Uzbekistanian league, players we've never heard of before. I'm just hopeful they fit the way we want to play, because that is going to be one like weird thing for me this summer. And I think so for a lot of other supporters, that we are going to be seeing names of players we have never heard of before. And we are going to question whether they're Premier League quality or ready for the Prem. And I just think with Potter's track record and where he's been able to do this type of thing. And I'm just hoping it pays off for us and we are not that one club in his resume that it doesn't work for.
Listen, if it works next year, I will say, Jay, I got it wrong. Right. But the problem is with him is that I think people need to learn their lessons from this season in regards of gassing up people before they've actually done the fucking job that they deserve to be gassed up for. Now, for Potter, he's got a big summer. And that is it. Like, he's got to make sure that his signings come in and that they all hit the ground running pretty much in pre-season.
Hopefully we get them in. Yeah, we get them in time for pre-season.
Yeah, I'm going to go to this comment here because I like this comment. Let's rate E20. Let's start off with Mitchell. What would you rate Mitchell for this season, Lucas?
We'll give Mitch a 7.
Yeah, I think Mitch is definitely a 7. Clive.
7.
Let's have a think. Adam, who's come on.
10. Love him. What a geese.
AD lad.
We'll give him a 6. AD.
So Daddy.
10.
Ginge.
10.
Yeah. You, son. I'll tell you what, I'll let you rate yourself. Go on.
3.
Yeah.
I love that number.
And I'll rate myself a 0, mate, because you know what? I'm an embarrassment to this channel, and these boys could do so much better without me on here. So there you go. Give it a 0 out of 10. See? You know what I mean? No smug.
I give myself a 3 out of 10 for Guido Rodriguez Hammer of the Year prediction.
Yeah. Listen, at the end of the day, summer's here. I'm gonna fucking enjoy it. I will say that.
It doesn't feel like summer over here, I'll tell you that. Gray.
You need a thick skin, James. Mate, if I have any more thick skin, mate, I'll end up in the fucking morgue, mate. You know what I mean? But the diet is on the way. Rehab and rehabilitation is on the way. And you know what? Next season, I'll be back to it. You know what I mean? I've got to learn one thing. I've got to learn not to lose me rag with fucking idiots. I will say that. But I don't know. Just people like to trigger me, and I think they know I buy it. If I can get that down to a T, I'll be laughing. Do you know what I'm saying? But I want to thank everyone who's been watching. I really do appreciate it. And special like on the video. Subscribe to E20 Zone TV. Hit notification bell. Got some sad news though. Yeah, there is no more intro because it's been blocked because of copyright. And yeah, there is no more intro on that one. So we're gonna have to think of a new intro for the new season.
We're gonna have to hit the studio again. Cook up another banger.
Fucking straight down the studio for me. And yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, from me to you, take care of yourselves. Hope you enjoyed this. Sam Banks, I'm sorry, son, but you pissed me off. Peace.